So the first thing we want to do is go to Yahoo Finance and get the stocks that we want to make an investment in and look at the beta. And we're going to enter the beta for each stock. Here, these are just random stocks: anonymous stock, stock A, stock B, beta's 2.2, 1.3, 1.5, and so on. Try to pick 5 stocks. This model is only set up for five investments, so we can expand that later on, but for now, let's pick 5 stocks just so we can get a feel and understanding for how linear programming works. The stock market return since the 1920s or 30s thereabouts has been about 8%. So if you put money in 1925, 1930, and you would have earned about 8% annually on average. There are some anomalies to this that statistic, but overall you would have earned anywhere from 8 to 11%. And that's what we're using as a gauge. So the way we're figuring out the yield is this. As you can see, I2, which is the stock market return, 8%, in relation to the beta. So, for example, if the stock market goes up by 8%, a high beta is going to yield 17.6%. The stock market's yielding 8%. A low risk beta, 0.9, is only going to get 7.2%. That's how beta works in relation to the stock market returns. Once you have picked the 5 stocks, you can put any amount of money in there. You can put 50,000, but we're going to start with 100,000 as the portfolio amount. So you can put 50,000 in a high risk one, and then spread the remaining 50,000 out among the 4 other stocks. Once you have that done, we're going to go into Solver, and we're going to set some constraints here. Now, as you can see, the set objective is E12. E12 is the total yield right here. By changing the variable cells, D5 through D9, right here the amounts invested, now subject to constraints. D10, right here, is the total amount invested, has to equal C1 up here. So in other words, the amount invested has to equal the portfolio amount. So we're going to add some constraints, and what we're going to do here is we're going to add some constraints. We're going to say that we want to develop our portfolio as realistic as possible. So we add a constraint, add the first one, cell reference, percent of portfolio for the high risk stock. The high risk stock can't be more than 15% of our portfolio. We hit add, and then we find the lowest one, lowest beta, 0.4. 0.4 can not exceed 25% of our portfolio. And these are just random numbers. What we're trying to do is come up with the best way to develop our portfolio. We hit add, and then we cancel it out. As you can see here, these are the 2 constraints. So F5 cannot exceed 15%. So the high risk investment can't be more than 15% of our total portfolio. The low risk investment, F8, can't be more than 25% of our portfolio. It's on GRG nonlinear. Then we hit solve, and this should be on max. Hit OK. And that's what it's coming up at. So it's obviously telling us to max out the stock A as much as we can, and don't even bother with the low yielding stock. Now, what happens if we reset this? And we're going to make a few changes. We're going to get rid of the limit, the ceiling on stock A. So we delete that, and we're going to change this. We're going to say F8, the low yielding stock, must be 25% of our portfolio. Hit change. Cell reference equal. It's got to equal 25% of our portfolio. Now, let's look at portfolio A. We actually will pick another one. 9. We're trying to stay middle of the road. Has to be equal to 30% of our portfolio. Hit add and then cancel. This is what we have. So 55% of our portfolio needs to be between a beta of 0.4 and 0.9. So we're trying to be very conservative here. So let's see what the best investment strategy would be. Hit solve. And that's it. 10.88%. So again, you can play around this. You get another. If we get rid of those constraints, change it to 0.05. Add. And this one is 0.10. Add. That means we're keeping 15% of our investments total in low risk, low beta risk securities. Get rid of this. So here's our new constraints. D10 through C1 is equal. F8, 0.05, F9.01. Hit solve. Wow, there it is. That's 15.84% yield. Now this is how to do it. So once you've developed, you pick 5 good stocks and figure out the best way to get the highest yield in respect to your investment philosophy, you should go ahead and make the trades and see how it works for you. And I'll come around and help everyone as needed. Thank you.